What's up, everybody? Elite Meteorologist John Choquette here for your daily forecast. It's not Andrea this time. I'm actually on here first time in a while, so bear with me as we go through what we're expecting today, which is really late tonight. We're actually going to see quite a bit of severe weather possible after about 3 o'clock in the morning. So a lot of folks in Oklahoma, especially in Oklahoma City and down along the I-35 corridor, could wake up to the possibility of some storms here on your very late night and into the early morning hours. That will continue into tomorrow, where to 2023, we got the big forecast coming up on Thursday, and it seems like severe risks are leading up to this all the way up onto your Wednesday. So places, we'll break that down for you in other sections of Oklahoma and parts of Missouri and Arkansas as well. And finally, it's crazy looking at the risk going into this weekend. We do have a chance for some severe weather on Sunday, and it's looking much more like a mid-May risk than what we normally see here in late February. So it's a little crazy. We'll break that down for you as well. So before we go into that, we got a couple upcoming events here. I have been busy in the background here putting together the 2023 hail forecast. That's going to be on Thursday, mind you, and then Derek will be presenting it. So hopefully if I'm wrong, it's Derek's fault. It's not my fault. So you can scan here for tickets. I think the link's in the description below. I'm sure a lot of you guys watch this on your phones, so a little hard to scan the QR codes. But check this out. A bunch of cool speakers, a bunch of fun stuff for this. It's February 23rd. It's in the Embassy Suites Denton Convention Center. I believe it starts at 9-ish or something, 9:10, around 9:10. So, and it should be a good chunk of the day. Breakfast and lunch is included. So come check us out. Free event. I think we're almost entirely full already. So super exciting stuff. Find out what we're expecting for that 2023 hail forecast. And on top of that, before I get into the forecast for today, we're going to be doing in our office here, we do this every single year, a live video breaking down the 5-star picks. So basically, we got a 5-star map. We just kind of predict which city we think it's going to be. We're going to start with the people who aren't in the weather department, just making their blind guesses, and then people like me and Derek and stuff come towards the very end. Give you a little bit of insight on what we are thinking going into 2023 and give you that little preview for the 2023 hail forecast. So, what's happening right now? Well, it's pretty quiet across much of the country, as you'd expect here in February. It is snowing in the Dakotas. We also have here in Oklahoma some high clouds, but it is pretty warm here, and that's setting the stage for some severe weather possible. We do have this potential here. That potential energy is coming out across El Paso right now. We're getting some much needed rain, and off into the northeast as well. We actually have some storms beginning to develop here across eastern sections of Pennsylvania, coming off the Pocono Mountains here, going into areas like Philadelphia and most of New Jersey. Do also have that chance for some potential severe weather today. Not much in the way of hail. Temperatures 83 in Dallas. Look at that. It's freaking February, guys, and it's 83 degrees in Dallas. A little bit cooler here in Kansas City at 47 degrees, and here in Oklahoma is that middle zone, and that's where you're going to get the instability, the elevated instability for some severe weather later on. So we're going to look at that future radar. What are we expecting here? By about 1 o'clock Central Time, so 2 o'clock Eastern Time, there will be the potential for some storms moving into sections of the Baltimore metro, possibly as far south as D.C., Philadelphia, and all the way up to possibly Scranton, Pennsylvania, and that'll move east across New Jersey pretty quickly here. By 2 o'clock, we're going to be getting close to Atlantic City, and by the time we get to the mid-afternoon here, about 3:30, it will already be off the coast and not a problem. So just a wind risk for this afternoon here. Some gusts, maybe 55, 60 miles an hour across the Northeast. Let's move over now to the central and southern plains here across Oklahoma. This is, again, a late night risk tonight. So yes, there's a risk for some storms, but don't expect to see that before you go to bed. This is 11 p.m., nothing's going on, right? We're gonna push forward here to about 3:30. Got some storms here down close to the Lawton area, potentially even over by Elk City. Again, the question is how much rain is there going to be versus storms. It looks like we'll definitely see some storms, especially this particular model run does show by 6 a.m. Storms have already moved east of Oklahoma City and now moving towards the Tulsa region here across the I-44 corridor and possibly even towards Shawnee. And that will all push off to the east here as we push through the morning for tomorrow, which will go into tomorrow's risk after we talk about this. So what's that max hail size potential for tonight? Well, if you kind of gathered based off of what we've seen here on the future radar, nothing too wild, possibly just some quarter-size hail across sections of the Oklahoma City metro, down further south and even further east towards Tulsa. And where is that hail forecast going to be here? It's a little area of just pretty much going from about Oklahoma City down to the south towards the Wichita Falls area to just north of Abilene. So a low chance overall. This is not going to be a crazy risk by any means, but crazier things have happened. I mean, we are hitting that 1-year anniversary of what ended up being a $1 billion hailstorm across Dallas that happened kind of similar to this, a very low-end risk that ended up overperforming, causing a $1 billion storm in the Frisco area here with this quarter to ping pong ball size hail. So it doesn't take crazy amounts of hail or crazy size of hail. It usually takes a lot of hail, maybe some wind pushing it, and we could see that going into tonight, but a low risk overall. For Oklahoma City specifically, just to break down that timeline is honestly the only reason I have this graphic here. 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. is what you're expecting in the Oklahoma City metro. So if you wake up to some ice hitting your windows or your roof, well, that means you probably have a pretty good storm on your hands because it woke you up. So quarter size hail is the most likely chance. Again, it's a low chance overall. Chance of golf ball size hail is almost non-existent, which means it'll probably happen just because that seems to be how I roll sometimes. But again, low chance overall. Could see some storms. Could be just enough to get a lot of folks to maybe remember, oh, hey, that's right. Storm season's on the way. I might need to make sure I have all my affairs in order here in case we get a big storm. So 2 different areas for wind possible this afternoon. Again, this one is happening basically now through about 3 o'clock. Scranton, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C. Just gusts up to 55 to 60 miles an hour. I know it says tornado risk level, but very low chance, almost no chance for tornadoes today here in the mid-Atlantic states. More likely, again, some gusty winds with these heavy rain showers as they push off of the East Coast. And pushing over to the west here for Oklahoma, again, you could also see some pretty nasty winds pushing any of this hail. 55, 60 mile an hour winds is possible with any of the storms that form here. Tornado risk going to be fairly low, a little bit higher as you push off to the east once the sun rises tomorrow morning. So what are we expecting here going into tomorrow? Well, basically what we're seeing here at 7 a.m. is just going to keep pushing off to the east-northeast. We could see some storms going all throughout Missouri here, places like Springfield, Missouri, Joplin, the Fayetteville, Arkansas area. By 10:30 in the morning, we get closer to lunchtime, and these storms are rocketing all the way to the St. Louis area. Right around 1 o'clock, we'll have the storms moving into St. Louis. Most likely, the hail potential will be pretty low, but notice it's a pretty nasty-looking squall line. Could see some gusty winds there. And then this will begin into all weekend as we get towards the afternoon hours and wind down pretty quickly. So an early risk for your Wednesday going into tomorrow. So how's that break down for that hail forecast? Well, we got one real area we're looking at here. I have Oklahoma City and Wichita Falls in here just in case we get past that 6 o'clock in the morning cutoff time frame we have here. So places like Tulsa and Joplin, Springfield, Fort Smith, Fayetteville, Kansas City, the southern sections of the metro, all have that low chance of some quarter, maybe even $half size hail. And those chances do decrease as we push off to the east as storm mode begins to favor more a line of wind-driven storms versus isolated cells that have produced larger hail. So with that wind risk does coincide with the hail risk here. Again, that gust potential could be up to 65 miles an hour with anything. Tulsa, Springfield, St. Louis, I was supposed to make that a moderate, but whoops, I forgot. So all in that moderate zone for seeing that gusty winds. Again, I think you could really see that winds up to 60 to 65 miles an hour, especially along the I-70 corridor and the I-44 corridors here in Missouri. So that is what we're expecting for tomorrow. So really that risk starts late tonight, about 3 o'clock, and extends to about lunchtime tomorrow. So by the time we get around to doing the video tomorrow, the risk is maybe winding down for the day. So looking ahead, even though it says Wednesday system, it shouldn't, we have that chance for a more significant severe weather event pushing into the later portions of this weekend to round out February. So here we see on Thursday, notice this area of blue showing up here by Portland. This is a major low pressure system that's going to dig pretty deep here as we get into the weekend. And by the time we get to about lunchtime on Sunday, this is a pretty classic looking severe weather setup here for the southern plains. Places like Kansas and Oklahoma could see some pretty nasty severe weather, especially as it looks like things are really going to dig deep here going into Sunday evening. Notice you have all this unusually warm air surging to the north, this cold air to the south, the area in the middle, that's where you get that potential for severe weather. So Sunday I have the most confidence in right now. Monday this may push off to the east. There's just a lot of uncertainty with the models right now, and it's, you know, almost a week out. So could be something fairly significant to end the month of May. So this is what we're looking at for the 26th, mind you. This is Sunday now. The risk looks like something you'd see out of May. Storm chasers probably got real excited seeing this on the Storm Prediction Center this morning. That includes central and western Kansas, western Oklahoma, and the I-35 corridor, pretty much from the Red River up to the Wichita area and up to about I-70 here in Kansas. So this could be almost severe weather, large hail, significant winds, tornadoes. It really depends on how things pan out through the rest of this week. We could see a squall line move through, or if we have a what we call a negative tilt, so it would cause the better chance for isolated storms, tornadoes, large hail, all of that. And it's very likely this will move off to the east as well on Monday. So we're watching this extremely carefully. This could kick off our storm season officially here before we even get into March, and thankfully just a couple days after we do our forecast. And speaking of that, we will be doing a virtual version of the forecast after we do the forecast event in Denton. So make sure you don't miss that. So check us out on all of our social media platforms on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, probably some other thing I don't know about yet. Come follow us. We've been posting a ton of storm chasing footage on our YouTube and our TikTok and I think our Instagram recently, just going through the archives, showing some cool stuff. We're looking forward to having some more cooler stuff happening this year. And make sure you obviously keep an eye on our Facebook, Instagram. I don't know what we're going to go live on for our live 5-star pick. That'll probably be in about an hour or so. So keep an eye out for that. Give us a call, 855-334-4245. Get yourselves ready to go here for storm season. Email info@hailtrace.com or visit our website for more details. Set up a demo, all that fun stuff. I know there's a QR code up on the banner. I think that can help get you guys, if you're new here, to possibly find out more information about Hail Trace beyond just me babbling about the weather. And hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday. We will see you again tomorrow at 12 p.m. Have a great day, everybody.